I think this is how we do it. I'm using this iPad now instead of the Samsung, which, as you all know, I have a love-hate relationship with. So this is my dog. Through a series of misunderstandings and downright lies, I now live alone in this giant house. The two young people were asked to leave due to the misunderstanding and downright lies. And that brings me to this thing that happens when you're my age, 81, I'm going to be 82, and you live alone and your friends freak out. They go like, oh, you have to hire somebody to come and stay with you. And I'm going like, well, why? I'm able-bodied. I'm very fortunate, knock on wood, that I'm able-bodied. And if you're able-bodied, you can live alone. I mean, the people who need a caretaker are people who are not able-bodied or mentally able. And so far, so good. I don't know, although there's a question about that. So I thought about that. I thought, well, what the heck? Here, look. The one thing you have to remember if you live alone is you better chew all your food carefully because there's no one here to do the Heimlich maneuver on you, okay? Chew your food. And, what are they really saying? I have a lot of older friends, older than I am. I have a woman friend who's 94. She's had cancer and a heart attack, and she lives alone. Now, she does have family nearby, and they stop by every day, and friends, and etc. She lived in the same place for 60 years, unlike myself, who moves like every 2 to 3 years. And the thing about her is, she still sleeps alone. She has stairs in her house, and she goes upstairs, and she goes to bed, and she's alone. So what are my friends really saying? They want somebody to be here to find the body before it begins stinking up the neighborhood? I feel very fortunate that I can live alone. I live in a very safe community, I think. I don't want to make this video and somebody said, well, she just said she lived in a very safe place. Yeah, the other thing I notice about being my age is that people tend to treat you like you can't make decisions for yourself. As if I were 15 years old or 11 years old instead of 81 years old. And that somehow, I don't really understand the dangers that await me. Here's the thing. I grew up in New York City. There's no more dangerous place to live and grow up than New York City. And I like to maintain a certain amount of innocence, which is, I tend to believe people until I realize they're lying. And I never understand why people lie. Never. Because you always get found out. I mean, were you told that Santa Claus was going to treat you good if you were good? Did you find out there was no Santa Claus? Yeah, there is no Santa Claus. But that sort of gets us used to lying, and particularly lies from people we trust and our authority figures. So, yeah, it's been a kind of bumpy. I'm laughing about it now, but I tell you, a week ago, I wasn't laughing about it. I was really upset because I felt I entered into this with the best of intentions. After all, you don't enter with bad intentions, do you? And drugs and alcohol are a terrible thing. I used them when I was younger, and I probably was a terrible human being. If I knew you then, I'm very sorry. I'm making a blanket apology for anybody who knew me when I smoked dope and thought it was cool. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm hanging in there, and still working on that book, Deviations from the Usual Path, and redecorating the house. I'm seeing I might get a housemate, but take care.